Heroic Disgrace as a lifestyle guides broken people like me and maybe like you to safety. Join me and my buddy Clint Koenig as we host you going section by section through my book Heroic Disgrace over this next season. It's going to be great to hang together. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome in. Here we are back with Scott Box talking about Heroic Disgrace. New book just came out, and you can check it out on Amazon, and you can check it out at heroicdisgrace.com and worshiphero.com. Today we're going to be going over the subsection All-Star.
All-Star.
And what does it mean to be an All-Star?
Yeah, an All-Star. An All-Star was, Little League baseball. Get the uniform and the cool hat.
A separate one from your team.
Oh, yeah, you didn't wear your
thing
own,
altogether.
Yeah, you didn't wear your own team's thing. You got to wear a separate, and they're typically cooler.
Yeah, they're cool.
Much cooler.
It's like the designers took a day off for standard uniforms.
Totally.
And then put it all in on All-Star uniforms.
And went ahead and did, great job. Like the stitching's raised in cool places,
Right.
and the colors are always nice.
But wait, how do you get to be an All-Star? What does it take?
Well, you got to be good. I mean,
Okay.
You know this answer. We know this answer. You gotta be able to come through in clutch moments in regular season stuff, in regular life. You got to come through and yeah.
So best player on your team or best few players on the team become All-Stars, right? For people who aren't sports guys or gals, you maybe don't understand how you get what an All-Star even means. Maybe you've heard the term. Maybe it's something where you're like, hey,
right.
What's an All-Star? Well, if I really want to get down to is like, the All-Star on your Little League team. Let's just say basic life.
Okay.
Let's compare it to real life. Like, take your friend group, okay? Are you an All-Star in your friend group? Well, do you come through for those friends? Are you there for them in their times of need? Are you there for your family? Do you go to work? Do you provide? Do you help provide? Do you do those things that it takes to be the best in your friend group? Now, that's not, competition can be healthy. And I think that's what we're going to talk today. We're going to talk the healthy competition between you and your dad.
Yes.
Right? And I think every father and son go through this at some level, whether it's addressed or not. Now, with my dad, it's not addressed. We've never really talked about it. My dad and I have things I think that we compete at, but we don't. It's an unsaid thing.
Okay.
But my dad's a successful person. He's a great guy. He's loving. He's kind. He's all the things that I want to be as a dad and as a husband.
Yeah.
But it's just that competition that led you to write the All-Star subsection in here based on what?
Yeah.
The All-Star what?
Okay. So if we're going down the All-Star, are we still going down the All-Star thing
with you
or
and your
the
dad
competition thing? Are
both.
we going?
I think they bleed together.
So the story that I write about is that Dad won. He earned, put it that way, a ton of trophies growing up.
Right.
And of course, he never got rid of those. And they were in a box up in the attic when we were kids. And I remember my brother and sister and I going up there with him. And I'm not joking when I say that it, feels a bit like Indiana Jones going,
nice.
And he's got his hands at the.
Wait, did you have to take a bag of sand and weigh out the trophies and
No,
do a
I
quick
didn't,
switch, or you got shot with arrows?
No, I didn't.
Your dad had the attic booby trapped?
Well, no, but the attic kind of felt that way because the ladder, it was one of those things where the ladder had to drop. It creaked as you went up.
Don't sit on that area. I learned that from Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, don't sit on that. That's true. The Christmas Vacation did teach you that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Anyway, okay.
But yeah, you get up and it was like click. The little light it was just an individual hanging light bulb, and that was cool. And directly under that was this box.
Trophies, just gleaming gold and chrome. And
you open the box and yeah. So for me though, the fun part about that was when Dad wasn't around, I would sneak up there, and I would be too scared to turn the light on. So I'd take each one individually. Right. This was before I had trophies of my own, but I would take each one over to the eaves. And this was in California anyway, it doesn't matter, but there was, little holes of light coming from the outside, and I could kind of look and, to my little mind, it was.
How old were you at this time?
Oh, I mean, this was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty impressionable.
Right. So
period.
this was you just basically reveling in your dad's all-starism.
Yeah.
If that's a word.
Yeah, competition wasn't there yet,
Right.
probably. At that point, it was just, this is what a box is supposed to be. Like, I'm going to be this.
Right.
This is so cool. And not only am I going to be this, but I get these. Like, these are coming to me someday.
Right.
Like, these are jewels in the crown, man. These
The
are
accolades of life that you can put your hands on are so rare, as you know now. Okay, so a trophy, as a kid, we have this still a sense of spirit about us as a kid. We have the like adventure spirit that we like see we have a glimmer of hope in things, even if at that time you realize they're so like nominal. Maybe that's such a small thing now. Looking at it, a trophy, you go down, and you can have one made. It could say you're the world's greatest dad or whatever. Congratulations. But when you're handed a
Michael
trophy,
Scott, like a mug.
world's best boss. Hey, that's the mug I have. Come on. Don't
do
make
you?
fun of this. No.
I have one that says "Drop Dead Gorgeous."
Nice,
So yeah,
nice.
well, that's Carrie Ann's.
It's
but-
hers. Nice. Good job. Okay.
But I don't mind using it.
So really, we have to take this. I want to really understand this. So at a young age, obviously, you see these trophies as you talk completely about in Heroic Disgrace, and you grow through your life. And let's say you're 14, 15. When did you win your first trophy?
I was the first meaningful trophy. I'm sure I got it. I earned a trophy prior to this. Well, I did. I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And it was Little League Baseball. Our team went 23-0.
Whoa.
It was amazing. It was
good.
fantastic. I mean, it was
Do you mean
really
0 and
special.
23?
Yeah, no, 23-0. That's 23 wins, 0 losses.
Right, let's explain this.
Be very clear.
Good, okay.
And so that one probably came first, and that was amazing.
Wow.
But then I got an All-Star, or I was on the All-Star team that year, and we were 3 games and out. I think we won our first game and then lost, bang, bang, and you're out of the tournament. But that All-Star trophy meant a lot to me, and the hat meant a lot to me. That was hanging up there, and the trophy shelf started to expand at that point in time.
There we go.
And I was creating my own box of trophies.
So this is where we get to the competition part. Was there a point
by
that
then.
your trophies started to accrue and become a bigger
Yes.
box of trophies than
Yes.
your dad's?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did he respond to your
Dad
trophy
loved it.
collection?
Dad loved it.
Yeah.
It's interesting now. This is a side point probably, but you know how so many things have gotten cheaper?
Yes, yes.
Things
Trophies
just fall
used to be
apart.
heavy. They used to be marble.
They used to actually have weight to them,
Yep.
and they're not the same thing anymore. So they had substance in a way that trophies maybe today don't have substance to them in a very tangible way.
Yeah.
I mean, a trophy's still a trophy. It's still shiny or whatever, but there was something to that was cool. You actually had to bolt the shelf in and make sure like it was on studs because the trophies were heavy.
They were.
It wasn't just like you put it into the drywall and you're fine.
Right.
No, I would have dropped the whole shelf.
So would you say your trophy shelf outweighed your dad's at a certain
Absolutely
point? Okay.
well said. And Dad loved that.
Okay,
I think
I think
Dad
that's healthy. I think
loved
that's so
that.
amazing and
Yeah.
healthy. Okay,
I'm fortunate
So
that
the
way.
competition level then. What was the next thing that you could see was maybe like a competition between you and your dad that maybe was an unsaid thing, like the maybe cooler car at a younger age, maybe maybe buying a house, maybe kids, maybe just different things. What healthy competition things did you see between you and your dad as you became a man?
So the angle I would take that from is, and you can redirect me on this one because I think I know where you're headed, but my initial thought was, I'm fairly certain my dad didn't have or feel competition with me.
Right.
I think it was me
There
to
you go.
him ultimately.
There you go.
And I'm aware that in some unhealthy situations it can be reversed or
Absolutely.
both and.
Right.
In my case, I think it was just me trying to crush him.
Right.
I want to just
You're like,
be,
hey, Dad, look, I make more money than you do at this age. Hey,
there
Dad,
was
look, I have a
okay.
bigger house than you. At
So
this
there you go. Then to that point, when I was selling insurance, Dad was the athletic director at Seattle Pacific University, doing things that really, really mattered.
Right.
Actually, in people's life.
Yeah.
And here I am selling insurance, which I suppose matters. I mean, when you need insurance, you really need
Absolutely.
it. To me, and it was to me at that point in time, I wasn't doing it necessarily super I wasn't an altruist doing it. I was trying to make money, lots of money, and I knew for a fact I was making 20 grand more than my dad. At that point, and I remember sadly there was a time where, kind of young and dumb, but I looked. I mean, well, shoot, I was 30 at this point in time, probably Anyway, and I'm selling my dad some life insurance, and Dad.
That's messed up.
He was buying. I know. Is there a conflict of interest there? Maybe. But it was the right thing to do. But there was this moment of tension between us for some reason. And I was like, and I make, $120,000, Dad, and you make 80. Screw you.
Nice.
And I mean, it was that moment of, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Can't rewind.
That's like 40 grand more than Dad, and I'm so rich, and
I'm so cool, and
that's when I was, just as a side note, that was right about when I was about to collapse from a health standpoint into bipolar disorder, and that's when diagnosis was about to come, and so that didn't hold water. I was.
How did he respond to that?
To the diagnosis?
No, to you basically just spouting off about how cool
Dad
you
goes.
were.
He went quiet. Yeah, Dad was the type of guy that goes, "We'll see."
Right. Yeah, we'll see. Or
we'll just see.
We'll see.
He was. It was very. Dad was a very calculated dude. Like he knew how to politic. Dad was a statesman, and he was a statesman at home too, which was very. That's one of the things, I suppose, from a competition standpoint, I've always felt on me too, because I am as far from a statesman as you could probably be. I do not choose my words wisely. I don't.
Nice. Makes for a fun show, right?
maybe.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
What else you got to say about this? No, I'm just kidding.
But you see, I mean, that Dad set a high mark for statesmanship, and I never could.
Now, does this kind of tie in to, I'm just going to be honest, I'm not as familiar with bipolar, okay? But I'm going to ask you this. Does this tie into I can't reach that mark my dad has set, so I'm not going to try? Is that like a mental battle that maybe you hadn't at that point experienced, but you thought my dad is, because for me, and I'll just use it as a flip to help you with this maybe. For me, if my dad is a workaholic, I do everything I can to not work like he does in the same aspects. Okay, I still am a hard worker, but I still respect those values, but I try to take what my dad has done and adjust it as me and my personality in my life a little bit. Now, can you say that for you with your dad saying, okay, he was this certain level of competition. If I try to outdo him and I show him I outdo him, it can damage our relationship in this competition realm. Do you say, hey, I need to pull it back down a little bit after that comment? Do you maybe rein it in a little bit and say, you know what? Me outdoing my dad doesn't help my relationship with my dad.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So is there that kind of a thing? And how does that play into where you ended up battling with bipolar? Is that a mental question?
I think they probably are connected.
We know everything connects, right? We know everything builds up to a place.
They are connected. Yeah, I think that's safe to assume. And I'm not sure the direct, at the moment, in real time, I'm not sure the direct connection. But I do know that what did happen when that moment happened, I went, oh no. I crossed the line. And there weren't, there was time I was crossing the line all the time with my dad.
Nice.
All the time. Great. And my brother and sister learned what not to do through me. I'm the oldest, and And
that's
I
how
know
that works, right? You're the guinea pig. I know how
well,
that
yeah,
feels.
and I raised a lot of hell. It was just me being me. And mom and dad, I got spanked more because I deserved
Amen
it more.
to that.
Like,
I hear you on that. Yeah.
it was a thing, and it did work on me, by the way. But
Absolutely.
that's a whole nother point.
Yep, same thing.
As far as it being connected to bipolar, that was one of the difficult things with early pre-diagnosis and early post-diagnosis is trying to understand what's the bipolar and what's just me. Like,
Absolutely.
Why am I responding the way that I am responding?
That's what I'm after. That's what I want to know.
If that's what you mean, then I do think that when it comes to some of the things that are a part of bipolar disorder, like, for instance, hypomania, you've got the dips into depression. And depression, most people know what depression is. If they haven't experienced it themselves, they know that depression is kind of a bad spot because people are just, they're just low.
It's kind of an undescribable sadness that you can't put a finger on why you're sad. That was what it was for me. That's what it has been and is at times for me. There's where I can literally tell myself there's no reason to be sad right now. There's no reason to be upset. Life's good. Why do I feel sad?
What a great definition, man.
So that's where I kind of want to get into that and say, like, okay, sometimes we can't live up to the hype of being an all-star, okay? Because all-stars, ooh, feeling that right there. I'm just going to tell you right now. Here we go.
Good.
Jesus is with us. That's all I can
You
tell you.
felt it with 3 fingers, though.
Right, I do feel it right here. But what I'm saying is
4
that
fingers.
you can be an all-star. You can be the best on your team. Yeah. You can be the best man in life or the best woman in life, okay? And you can achieve everything. And you can go to that all-star game, and you can go 0 for 4. You can not get a hit. You could make a throw from the outfield. Yeah. You could cannon the ball in, overthrow your cutoff man, and the run scores, let's say, okay? You can fail at the all-star game as an all-star. And that's what I think our mission is here and what our goal is for the audience is to say, hey, really just because you've been doing great in life and everything is going great in life and you were making a ton of money at this time and you had a box full of trophies to compare with your dad, okay, that you could still get to a point in your life where you failed or you felt a failing feeling. Maybe that triggers a depression. Maybe it is. And I'm not saying anything having to do with the all-star thing triggers anything with that, with you. The competition did not trigger it with you and your dad.
Something really wise. Yeah. I think you're right.
I want everyone to know that no matter how great you've been doing in life, you can hit a road bump.
No matter how great in life you've done, you can hit a road bump.
Exactly. Now the healing aspect of this, right? Wow. You have your great saying of healing, okay? And I think that works in right here.
So the really the message of heroic disgrace is that God makes healthy what he doesn't heal.
Absolutely.
And that's part of, I mean, that's not the thrust of this subsection necessarily, but in regard to my message now and weaving that theme into this, oh my word, the idea of what hypomania will do to a person, in my case, where I just in a fit just blurt out, I make more than you, right. Something like that.
You're top of the world, then you're bottom of the world.
Yeah, that's not super healthy.
No.
Right?
No, it's not.
But I was sick. There's this I guess the point in the God makes healthy what he doesn't heal is just simply that a person can be sick, like I've been sick. I am not healed from bipolar disorder. I have to manage bipolar disorder every day.
Right.
And yet I'm healthy.
Exactly.
I'm healthy. And I think that's part of where Dad and I never ultimately got before he passed away. But
you had a healthy relationship.
I did.
But it wasn't healed.
It wasn't healed. That was we're on the same page.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I love about what you're saying is obviously you manage it. You manage it. I manage my anxiety, my depression, through lots of things that we're going to get into. We're obviously going to get into a lot more. We've got plenty of pages to go through. But this section, All-Star, healthy competition, father-son relationship stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's where we leave it off.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot. Absolutely.
Okay, so Heroic Disgrace, Amazon, heroicdisgrace.com, worshiphero.com, and we'll hang out with you guys again next time.